Financial crisis spreads. Nanjing civil servants are reportedly guaranteed just 3 months' salary annually. The finances of local authorities under the Communist Party of China continue to deteriorate, and the fiscal crisis has spread across the country. Even the provinces with the strongest economies have experienced imbalances in fiscal revenue and expenditure. Civil servants are generally facing difficulties receiving their salaries. Local fiscal problems have become a real crisis. On October 16th, the WeChat public account Long Yan Daiyue published an article titled, "Civil Servants in Many Places Are Unpaid, and Two Economically Powerful Provinces with a GDP Exceeding 10 trillion have also experienced imbalances in fiscal revenue and expenditure." It revealed the current state of the CCP's local finances. The article mentioned that friends in Nanjing complained that due to local government debt instability, last year's goal was to guarantee 6 and aim for 8. But this year, many places changed it to guarantee 3 and aim for 6. This refers to guaranteeing 3 months' salary and striving for more than 6 months' salary. Civil servants and public institutions in a certain district of Nanjing City have been owed wages for several months. Eventually, an administrative order was issued to forcibly borrow funds from various areas of the city, solving the problem of unpaid wages for some employees. However, subsequent funding for this year has not yet been secured. According to the article, not only Nanjing but the entire Jiangsu province, as well as Zhejiang, Guangdong, both with relatively strong economies, and Tianjin, a municipality directly under the central government, are all experiencing salary arrears or reductions for civil servants due to financial depletion. Employees of some government departments and bus companies in Tianjin have been unpaid for several months, and some cities have even resorted to borrowing money from local temples to pay wages. Multiple local insiders confirm that wages in many areas have been decreasing since last year. Schools, public institutions, and some civil servants have canceled wages and weekend overtime pay. This year, larger-scale wage arrears have started appearing. Guangdong Province has significantly reduced retirees' wages by more than 1/3. This indicates that the fiscal revenue and expenditure of economically powerful provinces with over 10 trillion yuan are already out of balance, let alone the inland, northwest, and northeastern provinces. A civil servant from a southern province said that salary cuts are a nationwide phenomenon, though the extent varies by region. He stated that he is a department-level civil servant and his current monthly salary is just over 5,000 yuan. He also mentioned that due to financial constraints, subsidies intended to encourage teachers to work in rural areas have been canceled, and subsidies for schools in remote villages, 300 to 400 yuan a month, have been suspended. The article highlighted that the difficulty in paying wages reflects the worsening local fiscal crisis. In the past, the goal of guaranteeing 6 and aiming for 8 has shifted to guaranteeing 3 and aiming for 6, meaning even the basic salaries of civil servants have become uncertain. The finances of many regions are no longer sufficient to meet expenditures and are on the verge of bankruptcy. To fill the funding gap, authorities have had to increase taxes, further burdening struggling businesses. The article analyzed that civil servants, historically seen as having the most stable profession in China with reliable social security and income, are now facing challenges receiving wages. If even their salaries are uncertain, other industries will have an even harder time surviving. Moreover, the inability to pay civil servants' salaries implies a shortage of public service funds, which will affect the social security and public services that people depend on, disrupting the entire societal operating system. Finally, the article concluded, local fiscal problems are no longer hidden risks, but real crises. Neja Auto again in arrears of wages, company responds urgently. Recently, many netizens reported on public platforms that Neja Auto did not pay employees' September wages on time, and the matter quickly gained attention. Neja Auto typically pays the previous month's wages on the 15th of each month. On October 16th, an insider from Neja Auto told the paper that the company's frontline employees had been paid, while middle and senior management were undergoing equity optimization and salary structure adjustments. They added that due to the upcoming IPO, rights needed to be confirmed, which caused some wages to be paid a little later. That afternoon, another insider from Neja Auto told First Financial Daily that the September wages were paid by the afternoon of the 16th, just 1 day late, and that wages had been paid on time previously. In February this year, Neja Auto was also criticized for delaying year-end bonuses, as well as Provident Fund and wage payments. Neja Auto CEO Zhang Yang quickly issued a personal response to try to quell the concerns. According to First Financial Daily, Neja Auto, once a dark horse among new car manufacturers, has performed poorly over the past 2 years. In September 2024, Neja Auto delivered 10,118 vehicles, a year-on-year decrease of 23.41% and a month-on-month decrease of 8.06%. Since February 2024, Neja Auto's sales have declined year-on-year for 7 consecutive months. Neja Auto's cumulative sales in the first 9 months of 2024 totaled 85,908 vehicles, representing a year-on-year decrease of 12.1%, achieving only 43% of its annual sales target of 200,000 vehicles. Amid sluggish sales, Neja Auto's capital chain issues have drawn significant market attention. According to its prospectus, Neja Auto's financial reserves have become insufficient after years of losses. From 2021 to 2023, Neja Auto incurred net losses of 4.84 billion yuan, 6.666 billion yuan, and 6.867 billion yuan, respectively, resulting in a cumulative loss of more than 18 billion yuan over 3 years. As of the end of 2023, Neja Auto's cash and cash equivalents stood at 2.837 billion yuan. Old stockholders, China's economy is declining, artificial bull market too risky. The CCP announced a rescue plan at the end of September. After the National Day holiday, A shares fluctuated and many stockholders faced significant losses. Veteran stockholders caution that China's economy continues to decline, with major shareholders reducing their holdings to cash out. They believe the risk is too high and recommend staying away from the stock market. China's real estate bubble, coupled with Sino-US trade tensions, foreign capital withdrawals, and a sharp decline in exports, has contributed to the ongoing economic downturn. The stock market has been in decline throughout this year. After the CCP announced its rescue plan at the end of September, stockholders who pursued gains suffered heavy losses. Many veteran investors warned against trusting the artificial bull market promoted by the government. During this period, some people struggled with anxiety, insomnia, and even mental breakdowns. They recommended stepping away from the stock market and focusing on more reliable income sources. Shandong stock investor Chen Shi, pseudonym, commented, "Capital is ruthless, the market environment is poor, the economy is weak, and 70 to 80% of industries are struggling, with companies performing terribly. Once the stock market rises, many shareholders and executives from listed companies start selling their shares to cash out. With tens of trillions in locked-in shares, stock trading is a losing game. I suggest ordinary people avoid trading stocks. The risk is too high." Recently, over 270 listed companies in the Chinese and Hong Kong stock markets issued shareholder reduction announcements, including 172 listed companies on the Chinese A-share market. Mr. Yi, a stock investor from Shanghai, remarked, "If the economy was doing well, would the country be loosening its monetary policy? They're afraid of economic collapse, which is why they're loosening policy. The market is full of speculators. It's incredibly difficult to make money in the stock market. I'm done with it. I'll quit the market and focus on my business instead." Veteran stock investors argue that the stock market's performance is closely tied to the economy. Currently, China's overall economic situation is poor, with widespread layoffs and wage cuts, downgraded consumption, and corruption in some listed state-owned or central enterprises leading to unpaid wages. Mr. Zhang, a stock investor from Liaoning, observed, "This year, 80% of real estate projects in Shenyang have halted construction. Several large enterprises, such as Shenyang Machine Tool, used to employ 30,000 people, but now there are fewer than 10,000. Layoffs are happening under the guise of position consolidation. A job that used to pay 6,000 yuan now pays only 2,000 for 2 days of work. If you don't want to work, you can resign or be transferred to a sales position. If you can't make sales, your base salary drops to 800 yuan. Ms. Wang, another stock investor from Liaoning, added, "Angang survives on state subsidies to pay wages. It doesn't make money. Mines have been taken over by large companies like Bengang and Fugang. These steel mills have good relations with inspectors and get commissions. Sellers claim the market price is 10 yuan, but they sell for 9.5 yuan and pocket the remaining 5 yuan. The company is fooling people, transferring all the money away. Just look at their subsidiaries. There are so many.